Alright guys, in another trade on oil today, I had 11 contracts scaled out here, got 6 contracts left, letting this thing run. It's a number 3, typically number 3s or number 1s I mean. So basically what I'm talking about is you have a trending market, you know, and it finally broke this downside, right? So you got this uptrending market, and then it retraces deep into the 42.26 was what I was looking for. And I wish I would have made the video prior to doing this, because then I could show you and prove to you that this is a level that I was looking at before the market ever got to there. So that was a deeper retracement down to the 26, and then that was a buy right there. Because typically, you know, when you have a trending market and it goes against you pretty quickly like this, the opposite side is going to take control, and this thing is pushing up consistently. So the next target right now is at the 74. Looking at the 74 to scale out some more at the 74. Actually probably here at the that's 66, 67. Let's just say right here at the previous highs, just to kind of cover us there. And then next targets here as we kind of start moving up towards the next level, because really if I look to the left over here, you know, we had this deep downward move the other day, and it kind of consolidated, went below it, and finally broke out of it, had a deep retracement, and now it's starting to move back up again. So I'm looking to see if it does break this right here, there could be some bigger movements to the upside, just because you saw this move the other day. And let's just look at some of these levels here. We have this 42.55, which is low value area that we just broke again. So looking for that to be kind of my cue to make sure and see if this thing's gonna hold. Next level here at the 65 actually, and I'll actually move this down to 65. So I move my 2 more contracts to scale out to 65. Basically is confluence with the high value areas here, which shows some resistance, right? So as it's coming back up, it did hit that resistance and fall back below, which is what happened earlier. So as it's coming up to test it again, if it breaks right through there, then there's a possibility that this thing could have more upside because it tested it before, right? And this was resistance the prior day, broke out of that resistance, as you can see here, yesterday, before coming back down at the end of the day. So this kind of the thought process here, and why I'm kind of holding on to the trade, but we'll see what happens once it kind of comes back up to this level again. If it does kind of start to wane and kind of fail here, then we'll look to scale out again, but we'll wait a couple 5-minute bars. One thing I did notice here is once it does come back down into a level, and this was yesterday's move, so we'll just do a quick lesson on yesterday. So finally broke out of this sideways movement, right? Came back down into this low value area here and shot up. And then this was the high value area here that it came back down and retraced. Well, as soon as you see it come down and hit a area before it bounces, excuse me, right here, look at this, 5, 10, 15 minutes, it moves up pretty quick, right? I noticed that. And then, you know, broke up here, came down and hit this high value area, and then as soon as it hits it, 5, 10, 15 minutes, and it hit another high. Then came back down, hit this high value area here, right? And then another 5, 10, 15 minutes right after that. So just kind of using that as my gauge. So it did kind of come down here, and it's hit more than 15 minutes. But my up bars, I would say right when this bar came down and tested this high value area right here, right, and then went up. So you got 5, 10, and I'm looking for one more 5-minute bar before I scale out. So that's kind of my thought process here. I still think this thing has a little bit more upside, so that's why I'm holding on. Again, the the bars, you know, they're kind of important to me, so really got to look at these levels to the left and see if it's holding. So 55 for me was a level that I was looking at holding, but if it doesn't, you know, I mean, it could come down here to the 49 or whatever, where it just broke out of this little range, and it should shoot back up. If it doesn't and comes down to the 49 and shoots through it, then I might look to scale out again. So just walking you through some of the things that I've been doing, and probably will start to move some of my stops up, but this is starting to move back up. Looks like it might hit that next target up there at the 42.66. You know, a lot of times I see, you know, this is a 10, 20, 30 tick move here. I mean, 30 ticks is pretty good, but this thing, if, like I said, if it does break up here, then it's probably going to take me out right here. Let me go ahead and actually,
order canceled.
so it took me out on that trade right there, actually. Yep. And still
Order
potential
pending.
here to hit that 73, 74.
Order pending.
So I'll go ahead and right there, look at that. So at this point, you start looking to your left and go, okay, well, you know,
Order filled.
where are my other targets? Well, you see the bottom here at the 79. I'd say that could be another target there. Go ahead and move this up to about 76. Yeah, 74, 76. And then that 85 over here, which would be the low value area, or the high value area over here where it kind of peaked, right? At 42.85. Now it finally did break here, so there's potential for this thing to move up pretty high. I mean, it looks like it's going to hit that target right there. So I'll scale out another one right there. Let's not be greedy. Hit that 74.
Order filled.
Let's go ahead and knock some out right there. So that was that 15-minute bar thing that I was talking to you about. 1, 2, I mean 5, 10, 15 right there. And that was a nice little move. So typically you see like a 15-minute and then it kind of starts to retrace. That's why I use that as a way to kind of scale in and out of a trade. So but as it's going up, you know, you don't know what it's going to do. Now there's broken it. Okay, now I'm looking at, okay, further upside. I mean, look at yesterday what it did. Once it broke, it did come back down to retrace, and it might come down and hit that 42.46 again. But if it doesn't, it could keep going. But if it does, then just like this the other day, you know, it could come back down after a nice move and then really start to move. And that was another 10, 20, 30 ticks. So off of that, just based off of what's going on right now, you know, there could be another possibility that this thing does move up another 30 ticks, which would make it at least to that 43.04, 43.05, right? So I'll go ahead and put some potentials up there. Put another one at the 84, just because it was right there. And let's see this thing really shoot back up and see what happens here. Now, gold is actually doing something interesting too. So we had this downward move like we did the other day, like we are on oil. And now it's going back to reverse. So there's a potential that this thing could come all the way up to the 18, or even, let's see, that probably that 17.2 is probably a better value, just because we did hit that earlier and break that earlier and then come back down. And usually moves where it moves against you like this really fast are pretty good trades to the downside. So I'm gonna go ahead and look to sell that real quick. Whoops, let's look at that. Oh, that's gold, I mean that's oil. Okay, So I mean, just to show you, look at what happens as soon as it hits that 16.7, right? So that could have been it right there. You know, I would have waited maybe to a 17.2, but look how fast that's moving down, right? It just made like 20 ticks just like that. Let's go back to oil since that's the one we're managing here. All right, looks like it's about to hit my next target here at the 84. It's really pushing up.
Order filled.
So there's 84 right there. Yeah, I would say because it's kind of like in this dip right here, I'm gonna go ahead and scale out just one more around this area. We'll go ahead and scale out at the 84. If it does come back up, should have some more. So there you go, hit that 84, and now it's really starting to move up. And then my last target, I would say again at the 43, 4302, but I'll just move it down to 43 right here just as an even number. But really just look over here to the left, and we just passed it, 4283. So we could see some retracement though, you know, and that's why we want to scale out, because you don't want it to retrace against you and then you start to kind of take profits. You want to take profits on the way up, not on the way down. So, but I would say 4284 is probably a pretty good target. But I do have one more left. We'll see what happens with that. If it doesn't, if it starts kind of waning here, like I said, it's been over 15 minutes of just upward movement. And this could be it, and it could kind of chop around or come back down before it goes up. So I'll see it, maybe try to attempt to go up one more time, and we'll see what happens right there. Let's see what's going on with oil. I mean gold. Okay, so it kind of stalled. It went up, hit that area, and then it just kind of stalled. So I'd say still this area right here, the 17.2. Just because if you look to your left, look at all the confluence right there. You know, high value, low value areas all lining up. So there's a lot of stuff going on there, and there's a lot of rotation probably in prices around that area. So got that going on. Let's see, let's look at and I got an alert right here, so if it does hit it, that's where I'll probably start shorting as it comes back deeper into that area. I mean, it has moved up pretty deep. I mean, we see something like a V shape like that, you will see movement to the other side. So let's see what happens right there. Looks like it's still going to move up a little bit more. So okay, well, it looks like it wants to attempt one more time. And I might go ahead and just scale out. I do have my target up there, but we'll see what happens. If it doesn't bust at 86 this time, we'll go ahead and scale out of this one right here. It's showing a lot of upside movement right here, but nothing wrong with locking in another $500. So basically moved about 50 ticks since my entry. Yep, that's about a 50 tick on average move right there. So nice little profit there. Let's see. Yeah, 4303. This thing has potential, but I'll let you guys figure that one out. I'm gonna go ahead and move this down to 42. Let's see, 42, 43. So much hesitation, right? 42.90. Move down to 42.90. And if it doesn't move in the next few minutes, I'll go ahead and just scale out of this. Let me actually drill down to the 1 minute, see what's going on with the 1 minute. Okay. All right. So yeah, see, it's kind of just consolidating, moving back and forth. I don't really like that. Could break through, but it should have broken through off of this right here. If it does come back down and retrace it to 78, then that's probably not the price I'm looking for. But could it go? Is it about to go? Let's look at the time and sales real quick. Okay, 77, 70. Yeah, see, it's coming back down again. So right there at the 84, 85. Yep, let's see it go through. Come on. Let's hit at the 84 again. Seems to be stalling right here, so we either break it or not, but I'm not willing to wait. Made enough today. Made enough today. Come on. Hit one of these. See it's come back down to the 78. Not liking that. Let's make at least 500 off of this. Come on. 81, 82. Oh, now it's starting to turn around. Not liking that. See what I'm saying? So now this thing's probably going to retrace a little bit. So yeah. So you can kind of see why certain levels were there, and why I hit those levels earlier as targets. Something to do think about. Cause look what it did last time. Kind of hesitated, then really dropped after about 10 minutes. So don't want that thing to happen again, because it didn't make a new high right there, and now it's at the bottom of that range. So go ahead and just
Order filled.
scale out of that. Done. Okay. So I did scale out. I mean, obviously if I would have held all 10, 11 contracts that I bought down here, you know that would have been a little over $5,000 off of 10 contracts. But you got to scale on the way up, so you're gonna make a fraction of that, which is fine. It's a few $1,000s off of that. Looks like I made a little over $2,000. Now we'll go back. I don't do this very often, but I wanted to show you something because I do trade this a lot. And this is the ES right here. And just so I can give you guys an example, I did want to show you guys really quickly an example of how I would trade this. So you got your resistance support zones. It came down to the support zone and then held, finally bounced. But look at the tick. It stayed below zero the whole time. And now it's showing some upside. Excuse me. Now it's showing some upside. And they're really just spikes. But look at the advanced decline. It's staying below in the negative 1,000 to 800s. And it's just kind of going weaving back and forth. And as soon as it hit that resistance zone, that was a short right there. So I have about one contract short at the 20.99. As soon as it hit here, saw some downside, so I shorted right here, and then actually moved all the way down to 95. I didn't really manage it. Unfortunately, 45. Yeah, it didn't. Low of 45.25, but did not hit my my profit target right here. So missed out on that one. But S&P, and the reason why I just did one contract was I wasn't managing it. I was obviously making this video and showing you guys what's going on oil. So I wanted to manage that first. Okay, so let's see real quickly. And this thing might actually come back down and retest this area here, and that could be another buy at the 45. So I'll go ahead and actually look at this level here as a possible buy. 56, and especially if it comes down there pretty fast, you should see a rejection. And then obviously right here at the 65, which it just broke, and we talked about that because it might just hit the top of this, right, this area right here, which was also the top of these areas right here, and finally broke up. So, but this would be a better retracement down to the 55, and this is why I scaled out on the way up, because it's not worth holding it, especially if it goes down. And that 15 minute to 20 minute on this, in this case, really worked out. So that was a nice trade. Okay, So what's going on? Let's look at what's going on with oil. Oil finally did come up, and look how fast it came up, right? And as soon as it hit that area that I was talking about, right, the deeper, not this one, the 16.7, which it hesitated at, or the 17.2 actually was where I was looking at. And actually it came up as high as 18.4, well 19.3 right here, which is the beginning of this downward move. So you know, we see an immediate reaction about 20 ticks as soon as it hits it, and now it's looking like it's kind of coming back up. So the trade idea here would be, if you really want to look at reward to risk, right?
Stop filled.
Shorting it here. Okay, I just got stopped out on this trade for +1, so I didn't lose on that trade, but I did short it at 99, and then I put one tick below there. So that's what happens when you don't manage your trade. And looks like it is starting to kind of be a bullish, starting to move back up. So depending on the internals, if everything holds up and it breaks above here, I would look for it to come back down, and then I would buy here, and that would be the trade idea today off of the S&P, because we did see a very strong move the other day. And look at this move as it came down to these lows, right? You got the lows, and then off of this low just moved up all day. So if there's still strength in here, this area shouldn't be broken. What I should have done is shorted it up here, came down to the mids right here, and just scaled out, and then now look for a breakout onto the upside. So we'll see what happens there on that one. So as you can see on oil, this thing is starting to work out. So we'll see how much downside this thing does have. I'll go ahead and actually, what I should have done was shorted it again right here at the 17.2, because if it comes down and breaks below here, the 17.2, I'll look for this thing to kind of hold right here. It did shoot through there, but now it's moving back down, so I would look for this thing to kind of come go down even further from here, and look at targets down at the 15.5, and then possibly down here at the 13.3. And really the objective would be down here at the 13.3. So we'll see what happens there. But anyway, guys, I know it's kind of a long video, but hopefully you guys learned a lot. You guys saw another live trade for me today. It is only Tuesday, August 18th, and made a pretty good profit today. Was happy with the trades, and look forward to making some more videos and for you guys to learn. All right, good night.